Welcome to another episode of Minute Till 6. I'm your host, Mark Haynes, MH the Champ, along with my co-host right here.
Chris Perry, man, y'all know who it is.
And y'all see, man, we got a very, very special guest in the house. My dog, Pooch Hall, in the building. Some know him as Derwin Davis.
What up, fellas? Thank you so much for having me, man. Minute Till 6 is what's up. So happy to see brothers doing their thing. And to be one of the first to step in the room and help, launch this joint off. So happy to be here, boys. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. And man,
no.
and we go get straight to it, man.
Hop in it.
You know what everybody want to know, man. You've been teasing us on Instagram. You know, we seen reports and stuff everywhere.
Man, come on.
You know, man. Can you tell me something? Do you got anything for me?
First and foremost, I want to thank the fans, man. Like I feel the fans don't get thanked enough for supporting entertainers and recognized for their love and their support. And thank you so much for allowing me to have the career that I've had, in the sense where they've been supportive and continue to watch. And it really happened for me on the game. We started off on the CW, then we went to BET. We got canceled, then went to BET. But we went to BET because the fans was like, wait a minute.
Right. I remember that.
We don't have that much entertainment as is, especially on television.
Right.
You guys gonna take away our one like guilty pleasure, in a sense. And
man.
So their voices were heard and we got brought back. So it was like, in a way, brought back the second time. And my run ended, and then eventually I went over to Showtime and Ray Donovan, and I'm still going, currently on air right now. Our episodes air on Sunday night, and so on Showtime, and all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute, Pooch Hall trending again? And I'm like, they talking about bringing the game back, man, and bringing the game back. They want the original cast and pretty much where it started. So it's almost like it would be full circle, making this happen. And it's something that I would definitely lace my cleats back up, what I'm saying, and go back out there for one more run. Come out of retirement wearing the 4-5. But they're Mark Brockett-Kill and the CW. They're talking about it right now. Like I said before, walking in the room, God is good, and I'm just blessed to be able to do what I do, and well, and as long as I've been doing it. My father used to say, when you find a job that you love, you'll never work another day in your life.
Absolutely.
And bro, it's like, I play every day, man. I got, 4 beautiful kids, and, they witness the perks and the, all the fun and all that good stuff. And they see the struggle, and they see the dark times too. So, but the game is something that the fans want. Definitely. And like, ever since the game got canceled, brought back, and then I went to Ray Donovan, like, literally, that's all people want to know. Pooch, when are you bringing the game back? Yeah. When are you coming back? It wasn't the same when you left.
When you in Derwin.
Yeah, and to be able to be a part of history like that, is a blessing, dude. Yeah. It's like, people still, I'm so mad what you did to Melanie. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
Yeah, bro. Like, to this day, man, we talking 2019, it's about to be 2020. And, but like, I guess the irony is that, people getting their vision right with the 2020.
Yeah.
So, hopefully,
they line that up.
Yeah, man, we line that up, and we'll be rocking and rolling again. With, I'm sure it's the storyline is gonna be a little bit different. But I think getting the original cast will be a huge.
That'd be big.
That would be
That'd be
huge.
epic,
And not to take away anything from Lauren London or Jay Ellis. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sure
They did that.
that'd be cool, man. It's almost like if you had the New Edition reunion,
Right,
It was
yeah.
like Bobby Brown and Johnny Gill. You know what I mean? Type of. They did it like that and had everybody. You know what I
Right.
mean? So with the new sound and that touch of what made it special. So yeah, man, I'm excited. It's exciting times for me right now.
Yeah, I seen social media is pretty excited about it as well. So.
Yeah, speaking of social media, I'm gonna throw it out there. You can follow me on IG at I am Pooch Hall and Twitter I am _Pooch Hall. Facebook I have, but it's the official Pooch Hall. I'm not on there.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
I'm not on there. IG is where it's at.
IG
That's
is
the
where
way.
it's at.
That's the way.
In the game, man, to get like you said, it touched so many people, and like from that was like, oh, excuse me, oh, that's me, but
where you at? You supposed to bring my McChicken sandwich.
but let me turn that off. What's going on? But yeah, it touched so many people, and that was like the first series for me that it you can sit down with your girl and watch it, and you're equally entertained as she is.
Yeah,
vice versa. Like, you had the drama, you had the sports, you had
the comedy.
Comedy. It gave the sports side for the meal, but then it also gave the other perspective for the woman,
like the relationship issues,
the relationship things. Yes, so it was well rounded.
First of all, like huge shout out to Mara Brock-Akil, creating that show, and the thing about it, fellas, is that it was ahead of its time, and to get canceled, where people are like, why would you cancel that show? And it's one of those things where the America really wasn't ready to really go inside the relationships of like football players and those real issues that happen off the field, and on top of it, a lot of people used to say to me, how does it feel to be a part of the number one black show? And sometimes when you say that to people who don't get it, they tend to be like, oh no, we don't really, we can't really embrace a black show right now. It's like, there's a lot going on. It's like, no, it's a great show made up of black actors and amazing actors, and there's nothing wrong with that. And now we're in a time where we're finally being embraced, and being recognized for our talents and our voices, as opposed to hearing their voice but not seen. Now we're being displayed in the sense of we got some really talented people here that need to be recognized, and I feel us getting this opportunity is amazing, man, and it's such a blessing. And I know Mara's worked really, really hard to keep that thing going, and it's produced like stars from it, not just including myself, but Kenya Barris, who was a writer on the show and a producer, is killing it right now. Shout out to my man Kenya Barris, man. Just a cool brother who kept his head down and just kept putting out just fire, and then he finally got his shot. But the game kind of was and even before the game, when we had Martin and Gina, and then there's us with Family Matters, Cosby Show, and here we have the game of this generation, where all of a sudden from there, then Kenya's Blackish took off, and then from there we started to get recognized to where they got some fire,
right?
So I'm just so happy to be in the conversation of what the game was and did for people. And now I think we're gonna see the game from a mature standpoint.
Yeah.
If if I will, because we're older now.
Right.
We're older. But everyone is excited, man, and I'm just thankful, dude. I can't speak on too much more.
Right.
I can't speak on too much more. Like, if there's gonna be aliens, or if Derwin is a mutant, you know what I mean, or if Derwin's gonna come back and
the Sabres,
or he gonna buy the Sabres,
right.
You know what I mean? So, but those are those issues that happened on the game. Why it was so popular is because they were real,
Right.
and just having relationships with certain ball players and people who like the game was in. I've been in like a lot of famous people's like living rooms, and then people like, oh my god,
Right.
like that's Derwin, and we get to know them, and they'll tell me about certain episodes that they related to, or how their sister or their moms or their girlfriends was like so upset at certain things, or like ask, is that how it really goes down? You know what I mean? And when you hit people with that realness on television, it keeps them wanting more. And so for me to be working in Hollywood, as a young black male, and like being a part of hits is like it's a rarity. Working on Ray Donovan right now with heavy hitters.
Leave.
Bruh.
Leave.
Like Sabretooth, man. Like it's I'm sitting here like a kid from Brockton, Mass. I grew up in Brockton, Massachusetts, and I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Like that's just keeping it 100. I'm not supposed to be here.
Right.
And I'm not supposed to be playing in the sandbox with who I'm playing in the sandbox with, as far as like acting and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you just work hard, man, and keep your nose clean, and surround yourself with positive people, man. Good things can happen. But you got to work hard though.
Definitely.
Yeah, for
this
sure.
Is your second stint with him, Liev Schreiber, right?
Well, sort of, kind of, because I'm on a TV show right now that's on called Ray Donovan on Showtime, and it's completely different from the game, my game character, and Liev is one of Hollywood's, he's one of Hollywood's icons. And
Liev, I'm pronouncing it wrong.
No, it's all good. I mean, people call him Liev, people call him Liev. You know what I'm saying? He answers to both of them. You know what I mean? Whether they're written or sound like that on the check, they all clear.
They all clear.
So, but he and I also did a movie called Chuck, where he played Chuck Wepner, who fought Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And from that story spawned the Rocky movies. And so literally Rocky Balboa is Chuck Wepner. Right. And then Stallone like capitalized off the success of Rocky and took it to where it is now.
Right.
Shout out to my man Michael B.
Yeah.
Who's killing the game.
Yeah.
But Chuck Wepner got an opportunity to fight Muhammad Ali and went the distance per se. And people were like, oh my God.
Who is this?
Who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? And the great white hope, they call him. Yeah. And it's so funny when you do your research as an actor to see how certain stories come about. And how people react. And it was so funny because Ali wasn't supposed to beat George Foreman. So he wasn't supposed to beat George Foreman. And so Chuck Wepner had gotten a call from Don King saying, you're going to get a title shot. Meaning
against George.
When when he beats Ali in Zaire, you're going to get a shot for the championship. And he was all excited and all that. And everyone thought George Foreman was gonna just bulldoze Ali, and Ali won and just shook up the world.
Rope-a-dope.
Right, bruh. And all of a sudden, Chuck Wepner was like all bummed out.
Yeah.
And so when he beat George Foreman, everyone was like, "Oh no, oh my God, like, damn, Ali's back."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so then Don King was gonna set up another super fight, and Ali was like, he's like, "No, I can't go through another one of those right now." It's like he really hurt me, like,
Right.
you know,
Because
I
he's
took a
in
beating.
his 40s then.
Bruh, he took a
Yeah.
beating. And then that's when Don King's okay, well, we got this white guy.
Mhm.
And then so he's like, it's gonna be an easy fight. You know what I'm saying? Like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and we out. And so Ali's like, all right, set it up. And they set it up, and it was just one of these things where it's gonna be like, I don't want to say an exhibition fight, but just like, you know, workout.
Right.
And so the whole promoting it and all that, Chuck Wepner was just really excited and respected Ali so much that he trained for it. He wanted to give Ali a good fight. He didn't want to just go
And just
and
get
look
beat
like
up.
a slob.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
He's like, this is the champ. You know what I mean? This is Ali.
Right.
And that's how much respect Ali had. And he ended up going the distance. And so what ended up happening was he didn't hit Ali once in that fight. But so in the 9th round, they called it a knockdown, but he stepped on Ali's foot and Ali fell back, and they called it a knockdown. And so in the movie, like in the whole situation, he was pissed. He was pissed. And then he put a beating on him, man. And then like they went the distance in a sense, and then he knocked him out right
before the end of the fight.
Right before the end of the fight.
Yeah.
And but we shot it in New York. The fight was in Cleveland, but we shot it in New York and Bulgaria. But I got to play Ali, and it's because I boxed, and you know, Liev and I had a relationship, and we worked out and trained together. So that's kind of how it all came about. And you know, favoring Ali, and you know, I worked really hard on that because I was like, I'm playing the greatest.
Right.
Yeah.
They, you know, I don't know what happened, man. The movie didn't really have a big push. You know, a lot of people didn't really know about it, and you know, but still, the opportunity was an opportunity of a lifetime to play the greatest, man. And yeah, I'm so proud of that movie and proud of my performance. And you know, I mean, the only other person that people know played Ali was Will Smith.
Right.
Yeah.
And you gotta, in my opinion, I think you have to possess certain tangibles that favor Ali. There's a reason why they call him the man of the people, because he just had such a connection with the people, and you know, he just loved everybody. And I have a similar trait like that. I just, man, I have no reason to be like mad or like,
right.
Man, life's too good.
Way
Right.
too good.
Life's too good, man. So,
and like you said, you know, of course, you was an athlete, or do we say still, or is athlete one of the actor/athlete?
I'm still an athlete. I just lost a step. You know, I live vicariously through my son now, man.
Oh yeah,
bruh. He plays football and basketball, and I'm just enamored with his ability. And I'm not just saying this because I'm his dad and he's my son, but my son is nice. And he's young. He's in the 6th grade. He's super fast and just super talented. And he goes to Heritage Christian, and they just played the middle school just played Sierra Canyon and won. And we all know who goes to Sierra Canyon.
Yeah.
And we all know who plays basketball in Sierra Canyon. But my son plays for the 7th grade team. But he's one of two, or there's only 2 or 3 6th graders on the 7th grade team. And they, you know, they got a great ball team over there. He does the core program with Coach Todd. But he's special. He's special, man. And like the kids are the future, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's all about right now.
Bruh, like I can't stress that enough. Like let's just like bring some attention to that, man, because we remember how different it was for us growing up, where there weren't like the cell phones. We had more of the interaction amongst ourselves, amongst our, our peers, and like we would go and do stuff in the yard and like hang out. And now it's like
phone.
That's all they want to do, and like just they got their heads down on the phone. And I'm like,
All
you guys
day.
are missing all of this, as Bruce Lee would say, you miss all that heavenly glory. And I'm like, guys. So I try to limit their time on the phone between like my daughter and my son, and try to be present and active with them, because they need that human connection, because as they get older, they're not going to have it. They're not going to know how to deal with people as they get older. And there's a lot of, and trust me, I see it with a lot of teenagers who don't know how to speak to the elderly, or don't have certain manners or whatever. Like, they're looking at their phone, bumping right into you, not even saying excuse me, keeping it moving.
Yeah.
So I think, as far as moving forward in life, my dad used to say to me, he said, whatever you do, be the best at it. My father said, whatever you do, be the best at it, and do everything with class, and have respect for people. And that's helped me move forward in life, because like I may be doing my thing in Hollywood, but it's not like my father, my mother, my brother, my sister are Hollywood heavyweights. I did everything straight from the muscle.
Right.
You know what I mean? And got lucky with the timing and being in the right place at the right time, and then having the talent. You know what I'm saying? There's so much to be learned from other people, and to be present and aware with life. The phone, I get it. They make it more entertaining and more whatever each year. It just gets more advanced to where it's like you'll be able to order food.
You need it. Yeah,
it's gonna be able to produce food on
it,
man.
I was seeing. I saw Saban and Bill Belichick having a conversation about the phone.
I didn't see that one yet.
They was talking about. I think Saban had asked Bill how he deal with it amongst the players, and Bill's like, at the end of the day, you're trying to make these 100,000 likes or 100 likes, and these people aren't in your locker room with you. Right. So like, who cares? Who outside of this locker room?
Right.
Well, it doesn't matter. But Saban was saying it was more of a problem for him, of course, in the college.
Sure.
But that dynamic, that the phone. It's like, man, there's so much more going on in life.
Yeah.
Around you and in front of you, and like, set it down for a second. Man.
It's. I get it. We need it.
We need it.
It's a way of communicating. We don't even have a house phone in the house.
No. What's a house phone?
Right. The long cord wrapped around your neck.
Oh my god. I want one of the. Sorry to cut you off. I want one of them ones that you could.
It's just, especially if you have children or children where they're old enough to have a phone, but also old enough to where they can still interact with each other, where playing board games, or where when I have my kids put the phone up, that they're not just like sitting there like
like, we still having fun.
We have some fun, but, and staying present and connecting with them. But it's there's so much out there to be gained, that where I'm at, we didn't have a lot of that access, and I get it. The world itself is evolving as we speak. You got to make the adjustments. And even going back to the game, the evolution of television and black television, and just being a part of entertainment as a whole, as an equal, like, it's happening. The evolution's happening. So it's just like, you gotta get with the times and add your take and how you're gonna make certain things special, and also, understand what's happening, but also keep your own unique identity in what happens.
Control the narrative.
Yeah, bro.
Control the narrative.
See, and like you said, the game and evolving and stuff or whatever, like, the game evolved me as a viewer into like, and since you're here, I blame you. You messed me up for why I haven't watched Ray Donovan yet.
Okay.
I will, because it looks great. As soon as I seen you go over there, I was like, man, I gotta check that out. But when I watched the game, I was like, I can't be up to date with TV shows now. I needed to be all the way finished, so I could just binge
watch it.
That's everybody, bro.
Yeah, so that's y'all. Y'all did that. Y'all messed me up.
Here's the thing, because it's not as simple as it used to be. As we get older, we have responsibilities,
right?
And I mean, I don't know
schedules,
about y'all, bro. Schedule,
oh, man.
Make it work. Yeah,
and especially when you're making moves, especially within this industry, especially with what y'all doing, like even though you guys may have a set time that you guys are doing y'all interviews or y'all thing, there's still work that comes either before it or after it. Right. That has to go into the next episode or next segment, or we're trying to set this up for over here, and it's all, it's all part of the mind, and it's like, you got to be present. And so when it comes time to watching TV, or I'm tired. For me, I'm like, bruh, I'm tired, and like then I have kids, and so they all daddy, and they got the energy for days. Like my two sons are like, daddy, like always want. I got a little gym in my back house. They always want to, because they're athletes. I am so blessed, man, because I have two sons who are active and are like love sports, love competing. They're not how some kids are, like I don't want to do it. Yeah, I'm good. My sons are very much like they're self-motivated, and because I am their dad, and I want the best for them. I'm not going to, no, daddy don't have time. I'm gonna try to give them what I got. Right.
So then you get that little gap. It's like, I want to binge watch this now.
Yeah. Well, I watch a lot of programming on the plane. I watch a lot of programming on a plane, like, cause like when we shoot Ray Donovan now in New York, and so when I fly from 5 hours, I'll catch up on some stuff. I'll catch up on some stuff, and or maybe on the machine, I'll try to watch an episode in the gym or something, or something that, but like I have to watch it all. Like I watched Breaking Bad straight through. I couldn't break that up. Yeah. But I think that's what they're doing now, is because in a way, a lot of television now, the way that they're setting up the stories and the episodes, it's almost like a movie, because it's like the next episode, da 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 da. So you have to binge watch it, because then you want to know what's happening after the next episode. And so that's kind of how it is for us on Ray, where people tell me all the time, like they'll watch it and like, hey, it was a great episode, but then people are like, hey man, I gotta wait till it finishes.
Yeah, that's me.
And I completely understand that too. And that's why you have a lot of the streaming services happening now, because a lot of people, like the comfort of their own home, just to sit and relax, chill, and watch them joint straight through. That's what Netflix did. Yeah, that's what Netflix did. Netflix showed that, like, streaming is where it's at now. Now everybody's doing it, which I'm excited, because what that does is it makes more work for me, and it makes more work for you, because then you can have a show, an original show, with someone that you guys can relate to. Like, yo, let's get him or her on here, and so it's all good. It's all good, man, to be, continue to work. And we never know what's out there, man, because there's like, just as you guys came up and did y'all show, there's actors and writers young that's coming up with stuff that we haven't thought of yet.
Right. New content.
Oh my God. So like when Ray Donovan came up, like it was so big, because number one, it's about a fixer in Hollywood fixing stuff for Hollywood elites and rich heavyweights. And people were like, I knew it. Because there's a lot of people who will believe everything that happens on TV.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
for
how it
real.
works
That's
right
how-
there.
yeah, see,
That's what
I
it
knew
is.
it. I know it wasn't.
They do
it's
this
not
behind
a,
the scenes.
Yeah, man. It's
Yeah.
not a conspiracy. There's really a fixer out there, and his
Yeah.
name's like Liev Schreiber.
Olivia Pope.
Yeah.
Olivia Pope. You know what I'm saying? The fixer.
Yeah, bro. You know what I mean? So when you're part of that stuff, and you know, it's fun too when they want to interview you and ask you, is there a? I'm saying I'll put it like this. I'll put it to you like this. You don't get certain topics out of the blue.
Yeah, that's facts.
Facts.
That's facts.
You don't get just like,
I thought this up in my head.
yeah, nah.
Seen
Because
it
all of us,
somewhere.
I mean, we see it all the time on the news, bruh.
Yeah.
We like, wait a minute. This man was in prison, alive, doing his thing, and then no access to him, no nothing in the thing. And all of a sudden, an hour or 2 hours go by, and then like he dies, and then we don't know about it, and come to find out. But when you look at the video, there's a shadow of someone who doesn't look like a correction officer, or this person over here outside. You know,
Yeah, it's always.
bruh, come on, man.
Yeah, and when you're on the other side of that realm, you get to know some things, you get to see some things, and it change your perspective on life. But yeah,
It's money. It's money and
that's
power,
it.
dude.
That is it, and that's all.
Yo, money. Let me put it to you like this. Because I've seen some things.
See some things, messing people.
Bruh. But money and that power can change people's opinions, can change a outcome quick. You know what I mean? But it's just one of those things where, you know, hey, to each his own. I try to go about my life, you know, as honest and as honest as I can. And you know, we all make mistakes. I mean, I've made some mistakes and had some bumps in the road.
Right.
But it's about how you learn from them and moving forward. And I try to keep, you know, a neutral perspective on, you know, politics. Try not to get involved with you know, but I understand certain things. What's right is right, and you know, a lot of stuff that's been happening is just dead wrong.
Right.
But you know, I feel, you know, when people are less angry, you know, I feel like we're able to kind of like make more rational decisions and or have other perspectives that can lead to better outcomes. You know what I'm saying? You try to create the narrative as best you can for yourself and try to offer positive influence or whatever to people who may not. Everyone's gonna have an opinion, but you know, certain things that you may disagree on. I try to live a life in a sense where like, well, you know, maybe if you saw it from this perspective, or what about this? I never try to tell, hey, you know, you're wrong for thinking, this is what it is, or you're wrong for thinking that, you know what I mean? Because I rather say, hey, you know, especially if it's people you know, because sometimes that stuff always messes with relationships in a sense where like, hey man, you know, I disagree, but you're still my brother, or you're still my man, or you know,
some people can't handle that.
They can't handle it, but you know, you can't tell other people how to feel or what to think, and you know, as long as you live your life in a way that people can't really say anything bad about you or whatever, and some people are gonna, even if it's not true, but you realize and recognize what's important. And so as far as like my family, as long as my kids and my family love me, then I'm cool, man. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate the love and the fans. They give me so much energy to where I want to be a part of coolness and awesomeness, and you know, try to live a life to where they can have their kids look up to me as a role model and so forth and stuff like that.
And then in that fandom, back to the game real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
definitely was your biggest role
Mhm.
to date. The
Mhm.
most notable, I would say.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Derwin.
Definitely in the black community, because black community, white community might know.
Donovan, right there.
Daryl Donovan.
Yeah, Donovan.
We
But they about to know Derwin now.
So, what? I mean, I know that that role afforded you some things. What was your wow moment? The person that you met that was like, your starstruck moment. Have you had one of those?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Man. No, I mean, it's crazy because like you'll meet a lot of cats and there's people that you excited about, they're fans of you. And I'm like, snap, like thank you. You know what I mean? But the only person that I've ever really wanted to meet me was Jordan. And my son's name's Jordan. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow. Okay.
So that's my guy. And I was hoping with the movie Chuck that some way, shape, or form before he had passed away, I was hoping to meet Ali.
Mm-hmm.
I met Chuck Webner. He consulted on the movie. I was hoping to meet Stallone. Didn't have that opportunity yet. And but I think it's Jordan, and I shook Jordan's hand at hand at the Mayweather Pacquiao fight.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And
that was a crazy weekend.
It was crazy because like so Ray Donovan's on Showtime.
Yeah.
Ray Donovan's on Showtime. So all the Showtime heads are like, we're all like kind of together. And so like the celebrities kind of go out through, because all our cars are parked in the back and you got to go out a special way. So
the tunnels and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of them. I heard them. I ain't been there, but I heard about it.
It's like they're just backways and like, you know.
Yeah.
I did get kicked out of club one time and they took me through like a door. And then I'm thinking I'm going through like valet where my car's at, and I end up in like a alley, and I'm like, where the hell is this? Like,
we're so lucky that you're able to interview today.
Right. Listen, because in Vegas,
what happens in Vegas, stay in Vegas.
I made it out.
Right, but no, there's definitely a lot of tunnels and stuff through there. So.
And back just. Nick's listening with intent. He's just like, man, really? I'm like, yeah, bro.
It's crazy, man. That's why I love Vegas, just to learn. You learn something every time.
Yeah, man. Vegas is fun. But so the Jordan experience.
Yeah. Let's go back there.
So we're all heading out, and so I was like, shit, this is Jordan. And I'm not like a starstruck cat. And I saw him and I lit up and I was just like, man, I'm a big fan, Mike. And he smiled. He's like, thanks. And I shook his hand. And it was just like, I was like, man,
That's Jordan.
That's Jordan, man.
Right.
And so, but like, I was like right next to Beyonce and Jay. I was like, what's up, B? She said, hey, how you doing? I was like, good. And like, but like, you're there,
mm-hmm.
and who's supposed to be there. So like everyone, like people kind of
supposed to be there.
Yeah, you're supposed to be there. So people kind of like let their hair down, and I was like, no pictures are like, don't look at me, like type of stuff. Like, so let me see, because all of Mayweather's fights that were for Showtime, we all went to, and there was this one time where. So they were escorting us out. And usually after the fight, we all have dinner with Matt Blank, who's like CEO of Showtime Sports, and because I box and they're all boxing fans, so we're going through one of those back room things, and we come into and the security cats escorting us, and so we go into this one room, and it was, we get in there and. Sitting down by himself was Jack Nicholson.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I was like, oh shit! I was like, this is Jack. And so
Of course, he had the shades.
Yo, bro, yeah, he was sitting there, right? He was chilling. So I went up to him, right, and I said, Mr. Nicholson, I said, I'm a huge fan. I said, can I get a picture? And he goes, nah, I don't do pictures. And so then a voice behind me goes, you don't do pictures. And then so Jack, he leans over and he looks up and he goes, is he with you? And he goes, that's right. He's my son. And it was Voight. So John Voight's behind me. I'm John Voight's son on the show.
On the show, yeah.
Bro, John Voight's like my dad away from my dad, man. And he goes, in that case, we're taking a picture. So we took a picture. It was me, Voight, Nicholson, Don Cheadle, John's son, my boy Kobe. And we got this picture, man. It's on my Instagram. You scroll down. But like John got cut off on the side. but I watched them. They must have hugged like 2 or 3 times and laughed. And there was that moment of old Hollywood right there for a few minutes. And they were like talking. And what was even cooler was John like vouching for me. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you don't have Hollywood cats vouch for you. He's like, oh, I'm not taking pictures. And John doesn't say nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, nah, that's my son, you know, on my show. And then John, I think he won an Emmy for Ray, for Mickey, his character Mickey. And you know, he's Hollywood royalty, dude. And you know, like I said, we don't talk politics on the show. We know who you know, Trump's his guy. You know, that's his thing. But as far as him as a human being, he's amazing. And like my kids call him Papa John. He went to my kid's school on Grandfather's Day, Grandparents' Day.
That's
you know
what's
what I mean? My dad's in Florida, but he just loves the kids now. You know what I'm saying? And like I've been put in so many winning positions that it's like, what I got to complain about? Like, I'm good, man. And so when you have that selfless attitude where it's not about you, it's about y'all. It's about like, I really care what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? I really want to entertain for y'all. All of a sudden these blessings start coming in. Like, you know, you get the information on the game. Like I just did a movie with Tom Holland and the Russo brothers called Cherry, which is dope. And had an amazing season 7 on Ray Donovan this year, which, you know, it's catching a lot of love, just based off of the reviews and the ratings for the seasons. Yeah, brother. Like, buzz man, I ain't got no reason to complain, man. And I'm just like looking forward to, you know, getting through the day and just continuing to be a part and to be putting out greatness. You know what I mean? Because it does feel good when the fans are listening, the fans are rooting you and cheering you and championing you on. Like, that's what you want, man.
Right.
That's what you want, dude. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you get people to back you up and or to vouch for you, or if you need certain favors.
Just they say, know who you are, a real person. Yeah.
Chris and Mark, stand-up cats, I'd love to come and interview with them. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what? They did such a great job. So-and-so can't do this thing, but let's try to bring them so they can be on a panel to, you know, do a media day at Super Bowl or something, man.
Right.
Like, and you got to shoot for the stars, fellas. And the only thing that won't allow you to do that is yourself. You know what I'm saying? You put the work in and you build them relationships, because it's not about who you know, it's who knows you. You dig what I'm saying? So it's just like, yo, like Chris and Mark, you know what I'm saying? That's dope. And matter of fact, Mark can't make it. He's going to win or something. So someone subs in for him. And you guys, like, I'm telling you, dude, like that's what you want, man. You want to have that relationship, those relationships, to where they help you grow your empire, your you know, your thing,
brand.
Yeah, brother. Like, and that's and when you have a voice that's influencing, then you know, then you've won, man. You've won, because then you start helping people, and you can start promoting and sending the messages and helping other people, man. That's what it comes down to.
See, and this good stuff, because you know, you're a winner. you're a winner. And like you said, you're a
Mhm.
boxer, and I
Mhm.
think you maybe could update me if I'm wrong. But last I checked, you was like 23-0 in amateur boxing.
Yeah, 23-0, and that's where the record's staying.
Uh,
Trying to go in no ring, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I know
was-
Mayweather
yeah.
talking about coming out of retirement, not no Pooch Hall.
Mayweather said he
So,
coming back one more time.
I seen who is it? Was it Meta World Peace, Ron Artest that called
What?
you out?
Oh, when?
Wasn't he trying? I thought I read something that said he was gonna challenge you to a boxing match.
The last time I saw Ron we was at a celebrity basketball game, but I don't
Man, it could have been like the
I wouldn't put it past Meta. I'll tell you that.
No, man.
like they say like the president say fake news. It could have been some of that.
No, I mean, I'll fight anybody, man. Like I that's one thing as a fighter. Like
Yeah.
I fear no man, bro.
Mhm.
I fear no man.
Straight
And
up.
it's like
So it should be.
it's not like a cocky thing,
No.
Yeah.
but it's like it's like this, right? You're a basketball player, and most basketball players is like, man, you can't beat me in a one-on-one.
Yeah.
That's how I feel as far as fighting. Like, you know, I can fight. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna let you know I'm home though.
Mhm.
But I feel as a fighter, I've been fighting so long, and that it's a skill that I've learned that it's not, you know, like a jump shot when you
It don't go away.
It don't
Riding
go
a
away.
bike, same thing.
It don't go away. And I stay training. And I just, matter of fact, I just put up a heavy bag and a speed bag in my back house, because that's one thing I want to make sure that my son has,
Mhm.
because my father boxed and he boxed in the Army. He's the one who taught me how to fight. And my son is really, really good at basketball, and I want to make sure he's able to, and he's not cocky, super confident though.
Mhm.
And he does a core program with like older kids,
Mhm.
and luckily he's really, really good that he can hang, and they all love him and stuff. You know, shout out to the core program over there at Heritage Christian. I want to make sure he's able to protect himself,
Yeah.
because he's had games because he plays up.
Right.
And sometimes when them kids play up, like if you have a kid who's like a 1 year or 2 year holdback,
Yep.
you know, they're bigger.
Yeah.
They try to bully you. They try to play bully ball.
Mhm.
My son don't back down from nobody. But there's one thing as far as like not backing down and not knowing how to fight.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one thing where
confidently,
you confidently not backing down and know how to fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want my son to ever be in a position where he gets sucker punched or something. It's like, I don't, you know, because I've seen it.
Yeah.
I play so much basketball myself. Pickup games and like, you know, not so much the celebrity games, but pickup games where I've seen it. You know, they arguing over a call and dudes talking, bow, just, you know what I mean? So, this is one of those things to where it's like, as a father, I want to make sure my son has everything, or mostly everything that I had or more, to help him, all my kids, moving forward in life. But boxing, it's crazy, man. It's like, maybe it's boxing, maybe, but I've always had like a confidence to where I was never like afraid. Like I could go in a room and just start talking to people.
Right.
Because like as a kid, like you're talking about, I'm 16 fighting 25 and 30-year-old men.
Right, man.
So when you get past that fear, it's like that macho, like I gotta be a man.
Yeah.
Like, man, I was young, growing up all the way up until like 18 and 20s, fighting older dudes. And then it's like, and I've had, man, I probably had like 100 fights, man. It just becomes second nature. So people see me, and I'm kind of like, I'm a clown, because what I do is I try to stay on the other side of the spectrum, as far as like, I don't be trying to meme mug or like walk with my chest out. I'm trying to make people laugh and all that.
Right.
Because when you're a skilled fighter, it's not just being like, hey, I'm a skilled fighter, like I can fight, but like a skilled fighter can hurt you.
Yeah.
Can really
Right.
hurt you.
Yeah.
And then what? Then it's, you know what I mean?
Speaking of skill fighters, what is your take on Joshua and Wilder? Of course, they aren't meeting yet. We got Wilder and Fury 2
Fury
first.
gotta happen, yeah.
But of the two, you're speaking skill fighters, of the two, when they do meet, who do you see coming out on top of that?
Ooh.
It's gonna be an awkward fight.
Ooh.
Because I feel like Wilder is a little Wilder. Like,
Yeah, he got that punch.
He got the momentum. He's got momentum going with him right now, man. Like, and I haven't met him. We've talked on Instagram, and you know, I'm behind that brother, man. Like, he's definitely a different fighter than you've seen.
Traditional, yeah.
He's not a traditional fighter. And he has a passion that he's so passionate about. He's so passionate about the sport and you know, winning and his love for the sport, you know, has not gotten jaded in the sense of like, I'm the man, to where you get off of you know, your path
Yeah.
and then you start doing things outside of what made you great. And you're gonna be tested. He was tested, you know what I mean, with Fury.
Ortiz.
Or
did Ortiz?
No, you're talking about Wilder, Deontay Wilder, and Fury fought.
Fury, yeah.
Fury. He beat Ortiz last.
Yeah. So with Fury, they wanted to see that because it was a controversial fight because there's a lot of people who felt Fury won. And when you're a champion, you know, everyone wants to see the champion lose. And in my opinion, from what I've understood, you have to knock a champion out.
Yeah,
like,
that's my take too.
Out,
yeah,
you
it can't be close.
You gotta take it from him.
Yeah, you gotta take it from him. And again, like even to make a comparison to Ali and Chuck Wepner, there were a lot of people who were enamored and fell in love with Chuck Wepner's heart and his will to take a beating and stay in there.
Same thing, Fury.
And Tyson Fury is similar in a sense, and he's a likable dude.
Yeah, he is.
He's a likable dude,
funny.
bro.
Because that was the biggest story after that. Everybody was talking about how he got back up.
He rose up like the Undertaker.
He's a likable dude, bro, and you know, and charming, and you know, you root for the underdog.
Yep.
And so, you know,
he had the mental health issues and stuff.
It's one of those things where it makes a great story, and then eventually you're gonna get some people to convert because, like, first of all, the heavyweight division, boxing in itself is its own animal, dude. It's it's so many sanctions. It's not like, and I feel that's one of the reasons why boxing sometimes catches a raw deal because you don't have one commissioner.
Yep.
Boxing,
WBC,
I mean football, football, baseball, the NBA, there's one commissioner.
Yep.
UFC, one commissioner.
Commissioner of this.
That's
why you get the fights you want, you get the games you want to see. Like you go see the best versus the best.
Right. So you the champ in the same division. Y'all in the same weight class, but you the champ over here, you the champ over. It's like, what is that? Oh, but y'all can't fight.
We're never gonna meet.
It's like that's weird. You know what I mean?
And now they got that. You see the franchise belt or whatever. Where
which one? What are we talking about? In boxing or UFC?
In boxing, they have a franchise belt now. I think Lomachenko and Canelo has one. So basically, they had to give up their regular, like, WBC belt, or I forget which one it is. They had to give that one up and they get a franchise WBC belt that they don't have to fight for. It's like they have complete control over when they defend that belt.
I don't know. I mean,
it don't even sound right.
It's.
I'm probably still wrong on how I'm explaining it, but it's something weird. Wilder said he wouldn't take it, and
that's see, it's like for me, right? When I'll never take anything away from Floyd. Mm-hmm. Like I can't like athletically.
Yeah.
Growing up, watching boxing and being a part of it, from what I understood and from what I learned and saw, if you say you the best, we'll just settle
fight.
Just settle it.
Yeah.
And
there you go.
Athletically, I've never seen anyone move for 12 rounds like Floyd, and not get tired. Like that's like he in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the Michael Jordan of boxing in that respect.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I can't give you the best to ever do it, bro. Like you didn't fight Pacquiao when he was a buzzsaw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I give Floyd his props.
Yeah.
But if there's a chance where if I'm like, all right, Chris, man, you're like, I'm the best fighter. I'm like, yeah, you're the best fighter. Yeah, champ. And they'd be like, oh, so what's going on with that fight with Mark? You'd be like, we might want to really think about that one. Well, what you mean? I'm the best. No, you are the best. But
you should just fight over here. Just
fight over here. Let him
just be the best over there.
I feel, because here's the thing. At the end of the day, Floyd, you're the boss. You can determine
whatever you want to do, and that's what he did. Yeah.
You can and then they finally fought, but it was like, guys, come on.
Yeah.
It was like, at this point in time, right? What I used to see was if you're gonna fight Mark or Mark gonna fight Chris, if you win, you're gonna get $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
If he loses, he's gonna get what? Maybe $1 million?
Yeah.
To disperse between Uncle Sam and his team?
Yeah. It's like you have
to win. What are you
win.
fighting for?
Yeah.
$100 million?
Yeah.
100. He wants that $100 million just as bad as you do. But if you are gonna get 75 and he's getting 25 million, if you get 100 million, he's getting 50 million. What are we fighting for? Hey, just don't hurt me. I won't hurt you.
Life is good.
Life is good.
Life is great.
My kids. My kids are gonna be fine.
Good.
That was Ruiz and Joshua.
Yeah.
Like posing before their fight, taking pictures in the arena.
How do you not
both about to get paid?
Stop. I was like, no, when people was like, yo, what do you think about McGregor and Floyd Mayweather? Yeah. I said, are you kidding? I said, that's not a fight. I said, and I was like, and then they were like, oh, it's gonna happen. My boys like, yo, it's gonna happen. I said, they ain't gonna fight, dog. I said, that's just
a business move. That's it.
So then they said they made the deal. And I said,
that's exactly what it is, a deal.
I said, what? And so when I started looking, I started seeing that Mayweather-McGregor mess, right? I was like this, right? I was watching it, and I think I watched, and McGregor was doing his thing, and Floyd was just like, what?
Right. It was just like, okay, this is about 2 rounds of this, and it's trouble.
No. I'm talking leading up to this.
Yeah.
When have you seen, not even Floyd, McGregor, at that point in time, where he was at, the height of his career, whenever they're doing press conferences, he's not really trying to fight dude. Yeah. One of those other dudes.
Yeah.
Like, fight.
Yeah. It was all talk. And that's never been.
It was all talk to the point where it's like, listen, this is what we got.
They got the deal done.
Let's make this happen. Let's give them what they want.
Let's get this money.
And boom.
And I'm out of here.
And that's, bro, You
okay.
take a loss for 50,
Oh, man.
70 million.
I'll take it.
I'll be arguing with my boy
They're
about
like this.
that. Happily. Bloodied up and everything.
Bruh. I saw
gonna heal.
Man, I saw so many like cartoon like drawings and memes of them
Mhm.
where they were like laughing together and
Yeah.
everything. Man, they're friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, Mayweather can say who he wants to fight and almost have the Mayweather promotions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not having no type of fight where I'm gonna risk my shit talking about Pooch promotions and then lose.
It's out.
Squad.
We finna get this
You
done.
understand what I'm saying?
I'm taking all the money.
Fam,
It's
go back to when cats fought.
Yeah.
Cats were getting killed in the ring,
Mm-hmm.
broken jaws, broken cheekbones.
Yeah.
The only cats I've seen fight are cats who were trying to get
To the
to
top.
a position, right? Get
Yep.
to the top.
Yep.
And Mayweather didn't fight Pacquiao when he was a buzzsaw. Now it's like, okay, who you gonna fight?
Right.
Then it's like, all right, Pacquiao, you ready to do this? All right, cool. All right, boom, boom, boom. Keep it moving. And because if it was a real fight where even if Mayweather won,
Mm-hmm.
they would have had a second fight.
Yeah.
And at least it would have been like, all right, you can't beat Mayweather.
Yeah,
but
round
then if
two.
Pacquiao won, then
it'd
we'd
be
have a
part
third
three.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A super fight.
Yep.
But no, man, that's what I'm talking about, dog. Like, that's why people that's why every time people go and do pay-per-view on certain boxing matches, they get, I shouldn't have never did this.
All the time.
All the time. But then UFC,
Yeah.
and I've seen UFC up close.
Mm-hmm.
That's no joke, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Listen.
That's
You
no
got the blood and sweat flying
you
off.
hear them cats
Every
getting
fight.
cracked,
Woo.
dog.
Yeah.
Yo, it's and that's what people want nowadays, man. They want entertainment.
realness.
They want it's just like kind of with the cell phone. They want instant. I need instant entertainment. I need something happening right now. And so like with and when you understand boxing, Mayweather's at a point where he's a tactician. He's just like, I don't have to fight you. I can just boxing's points.
Yeah, that's it.
I can just jab the whole fight.
You're not going to touch me.
And
I'm
that's
a score.
I'll beat you on points.
Yeah.
You don't even have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
And a power punch is considered just a punch landed.
And here's the
That's
thing.
not a jab.
But even with a power punch, as far as like really digging someone out, your foundation has to be. You have to be set.
Mm-hmm.
Your foundation, as far as your legs to really dig a cat out.
Mm-hmm.
Mayweather is on a bicycle. Bow, 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 bow. I don't have to really get in you. That's why cats are constantly chasing him, and he's just like boom, boom, boom for 12 rounds. That's why I was like, this dude is a superhero because
You don't get tired.
it's like, fam, I'm telling you, I think the most rounds I've ever fought was maybe 7.
Mm-hmm.
But I was amateur, so we only went 3.
Mm-hmm.
But when I trained, I think the most I've ever, and this is fighting, dog. This is like, whether we're doing round robins, but Mayweather can do that in a big stage and just tap you. But you can't really dig a cat out. You can hit a cat with a flurry, but there ain't no power on it.
Right.
Yeah.
And the crowd, ooh, because they don't know boxing. But they ain't hurt that man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And meanwhile, he's just countering and moving backwards and moving.
Mm-hmm.
So and trust me, I've been at all the last fights that they had for Mayweather on Showtime, and I've heard people being like, I don't even want to see his fights no more because they're not fights. People were in the Mayweather thing. I mean, Pacquiao, they were booing in there. They were booing.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, if you're not gonna fight, you're not gonna fight. Even with Canelo, even if he were to fight Canelo again right now,
Mm-hmm.
no,
Yeah.
and like they had to get somebody. They had to get somebody in there because of the contract, and they were like, he's getting older.
Mm-hmm.
So let's throw Canelo in there.
Yeah.
That loss on there is an asterisk because it's not even a real fight. He was, matter of fact, I was training at Wild Card West. I was training Wild Card West when Canelo was in there training, and then he, I don't know where he went after that, but he was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, man. I just feel when it comes to Floyd, he as a businessman,
Amazing.
he did all he needed to do
He's
where
amazing.
he's like, I'm good.
Right.
I'm good. You know, he doesn't have to say he dodged like Pacquiao. He said, well, I fought Pacquiao. But then it's like, well, it wasn't when he was a buzzsaw. And then he'll say, well, that wasn't my problem.
Mm-hmm.
There was all these different issues
Yeah.
with this, with him being an HBO, or this person had a problem.
God.
And it's like,
Yeah.
so you can constantly, but the bottom line is, well, he did. Then there's a person who's like, well, he did fight Pacquiao and he beat him. And it's just like, well, then that's where you leave it. So as far as, and Mayweather, as a black athlete, as am I'm not trying to lose. It's almost like if you ever play a video game, or if someone scores, like I want to reset it, or I want to shut cats out. No one's beating me. You have that mentality and that competitiveness to where he can say, "I'm 51-0."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't
Ali
do nothing about
can't
that.
say that. Tyson can't say that. You know, Marvin Hagler can't say that.
But he got it. So why risk it? You know, you got it. You got an unbeatable
that's
argument
part
right
of
there.
his brand.
Yeah.
So on one hand, he got past the fighting part, and now he's a brand.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fighter who's like, I'm a brand now, and I dictate how I control the narrative and dictate how shit's gonna go. And you got to give it to him. And so what he does to get people to fight, he becomes like this arrogant bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, all right. And now they're talking about, oh, we're gonna get someone else to fight out of UFC, or get to have Mayweather come into the octagon. No, it's not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? There's no one as big as him that can dictate any of that type of action.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So at this point in time, as far as I'm concerned, Ali's the greatest. I will never take anything away from Pacquiao other than, I mean, not Pacquiao, from Mayweather. I just wish that we would have been able to see him fight Pacquiao when he was a wrecking machine, dog.
Yeah,
like
knocking out everybody.
Just relentless.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're never going to see it. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't want to see it now.
No, we're not. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, man. So I mean, we have, I think in the world today, we have so much entertainment and things that are controversial that we can talk about. Like, so, you know, it's good. It's a good time to be you guys, as far as like, you know, podcasts and entertainment, and as far as interviewing, and it's a good time to be an actor, man. And you know.
I'm sorry.
Go. No, man.
I had a question about being an actor.
Mm-hmm.
How is that for you to have such a long run with med school with Melanie?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how does that play on your life, man? To have the show or a role that runs so long where you're in a relationship, and then you have your relationship at home,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have, you know, where the show ended, and it's like, you kind of just ended a relationship in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Because it's gone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's actually a good question. Okay, as an actor, you don't approach the role as like, you know, yes, it's a job, but like you become
Exactly.
this person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you breathe life into this character, and you don't want no one saying you're a bad actor or you don't look believable. So you embody, you become this person. Like there's times where, like, you know, I'll respond to someone like a Derwin Davis because that's what they want. And you just got to know how to turn it off, because it can do one or two things. It can really mess you up to where all of a sudden I'm going home acting like Derwin Davis and being and not even like, because Derwin Davis, like, he got a little dark towards the end when he's like, legacy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he he was on some Kobe Bryant stuff. He's just like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this sixth ring, and like by any means necessary type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you build this relationship with, like, Melanie, played by Tia Murray, and you guys, you got to be professional, and
Yeah.
that's like the political way of, like, like dealing with it, in the sense of like, well, you guys are kissing, you guys are like crying with each other, you guys are holding each other, and like, you can't fake those emotions, so they are real emotions, man. And but we're professional.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
like, we're professional.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's easy to get caught up and lost in them characters. I mean, look what happened to Heath, man. Like when he
Yeah.
became the
Mhm.
Joker,
Yeah.
like, one thing that Jack Nicholson said to him was, "Be careful." You know,
Mm.
when you go into those dark characters, like sometimes
A piece
you
of them stays.
yeah, a piece of them stays and or holds you.
Yeah, you can't come
You know
out.
what I mean? You got to be careful, man. And I remember I was reading somewhere where I don't know if it was which role it was, but Michael B was like, he had to go see a therapist. I don't know if it was Creed or if it was
Killmonger.
yeah,
Black
I
Panther,
think Killmonger. Yeah,
yeah.
when he played Killmonger, I it was something I read it. I mean, I
Mhm.
haven't spoken to Mike to know,
Right.
you know what I mean. But sometimes you gotta talk about those things, because when you're doing things that are opposite of who you are, it can mess with you. It's because you are portraying it.
Yeah.
You're portraying it as this character. I mean, even some of the dark shit I be doing in Ray, I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? And you're like, you gotta tell yourself this is Hollywood.
Right.
But some of the stuff I've done on there, I'm just like, yo. And I think that it definitely it definitely requires a strong-minded person
Mm-hmm.
to be able to separate. You got to be able to separate the reality from the fiction.
Fiction.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's
It's
hard.
hard. This is a real thin line. That's why I was curious.
Especially when you,
I'm acting and stuff, and in those roles, it's like this person has become your mom now. Like literally,
Mhm.
you have this relationship that you
Yeah.
do with that person. So
Yeah.
I was curious your take on
No,
it.
well, I mean, I've recently had my own, therapy, as far as getting centered and getting recentered, and realizing and recognizing what's important, and to be able to, as men sometimes, and as black men, we sometimes are so feel we have to always be strong, and we're so proud that we can never show a vulnerable side, in the sense of like, man, yo, I'm just not good today.
Mhm.
Like, yo, Chris, how you doing? Man, you good? Nah, man, I'm not.
Mhm.
But yo, I ain't no bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but that's kind of
Yeah,
like our
yeah.
take on it, because like there was times, man, where like I just wasn't okay,
Mhm.
and just going through like just mental changes and thoughts, and and not really being able to embrace a vulnerable side to say, yo, man, I gotta holler at you. Or like, hey, you should go see a therapist. Why I ain't gonna see no therapist? My dad was like that.
Mhm.
My dad was like, man,
Everybody.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
crazy?
That's just the
What's wrong with
culture
you? Ain't
that
nothing
we
wrong with
grew
you.
up in.
Go see a therapist for it, man. You ain't crazy. Oh, therapist people. That's people who need to be in the mental house. That's my dad, man. And so you kind of like let me get right. But
Yeah.
you'll see, man. You'll see certain situations happen to certain people, especially athletes, or
Mhm.
especially macho dudes who aren't able to embrace that vulnerable side, to be able to share and get it out, to
Right.
get some other perspective. It'll drive cats crazy to doing certain things, or whatever. But it takes a special person, in my opinion, to be in the acting world, because not only are you dealing with the relationships of whoever you're in it with,
I'm
like as
seeing
far
it,
as
yeah.
like my wife or my brother or my boss or my dad, or like this enemy dude I'm chasing around, whatever, or someone chasing me.
Mm-hmm.
You then got to deal with the outside noise, whether, I still get people, when it really started, when it really was in the height, there were people really upset at me for what I did to Melanie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would kind of like laugh it off, like, I was like, nah, I'm not playing with you. Like, that happened to my sister, or like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
and it was like,
Struck some nerves.
and you're like, you know what I mean? And it's
Now
you
I'm
don't know how to
defending a
Yo,
character.
fam, it's
You know what I mean?
crazy.
It's
It's
like
crazy.
what's the kid on Power that everybody helped?
Tyreek.
Tyreek. They made that.
Tariq.
He did a little skit with one of the, I forget his name, a YouTube star, but he ends up on like an elevator
together.
and he's like mugging Tyreek, and Tyreek's like, "What's up?" He's like, "Don't sup me." He's like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "You know what's wrong."
Yeah.
He's like, "It's a show, dog." So
Yeah.
he's like, "No, it ain't no show."
Yo, bro, like, and sometimes you don't know a certain you don't know a person's like, agenda sometimes. Because like when you offer that entertainment, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's like that's that person's release, or like that's their go-to. And they can be invested in certain characters to where, they're like, that I believe you to be him, or I believe her to be whatever. I believe whatever
Right,
happened
right.
went down, really went down, and I'm coming at you for some answers or something. So I like, as actors, we deal with a lot of on and off, just emotions, and just different situations, and we're putting all types of, different situations, especially in like you out in the public. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that I've always, like, for me, I've always tried to, live life with a smile and make people feel comfortable, and like they have a voice, and I'm always, give people the benefit of the doubt and listen. You know what I mean? I was like, you always like want to listen and hear, you know what I mean, and respect people. And I do, like, I hear people's thoughts, and I try to bring it back to either my creators, like, hey, some fans were thinking about this. I think it's actually interesting. What do you think? You know what I mean? Because I do think people make some great points, and then we haven't, as people, we haven't experienced everything that you have experiences that I've never experienced that are probably beneficial, and vice versa.
Yeah.
It's
And
important to share.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And because I don't know what I can learn, you know what I mean? And I think that is important. And that's one of the reasons why I was kind of like, man, I really appreciate people's thoughts and, what their take is on stuff, because I want to learn. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what's helped me as an actor moving forward, like having knowledge on certain things I've never experienced, or going to do the research and finding certain things.
Right.
That's what you do.
Right.
Because you want to give the best performance to where you first and foremost, you want the fans walking away like, damn,
That was
Chris,
Killed
Mark did that thing. Like, I
Yeah.
really, and next thing you know, you're being recognized for your work, but then also you're learning a lot. Like, it's like, as an actor, you're constantly in school.
Yeah,
You know what I
definitely.
mean?
Yeah, when I saw Denzel say that, he said, even in between movie stuff, he still goes back to acting classes.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you the GOAT. And you
Yeah.
still, like, there's more for me to learn.
Yeah.
Always.
That's
Well, you got to keep in mind, each character you playing is a different
brings
person.
a different dynamic. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And you don't know the scenario or the situation that this character is going to be facing with whatever or whoever you acting with, or whatever the story is and what you're trying to do. But when you learn some things, then when I learned some stuff as an actor, it like, the
Opens a new-
perspectives like, you're like,
Yeah,
whoa, and
opens a
then
whole
I'm
new
giving a
avenue.
different take to make sure that this one's different from this character is different from this character.
Right.
But if it's still me, but I have a different mindset and approach on how I go about this character and what my objective is and what we trying to accomplish. You know what I mean? I mean, even with the game, you know, what they're talking about, we don't know exactly what it's gonna be, but you know, I mean, number one, you know, Derwin got traded to Baltimore.
Right.
Mhm.
Baltimore is different from San Diego.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
The people are different from
From
people.
San Diego, yeah.
You understand?
Mhm.
So that in itself is just going to be a different approach on how you go about certain things. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
yeah, man, I'm doing my thing and just happy to be here and thankful to be able to be on y'all show, man.
Man, and we appreciate you to the
Yeah.
fullest, man, giving us your time. And, you know, we've been going for a while.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, man, we got to get my guy out of here
Yeah,
eventually.
thank you.
But before you go, man, two quick ones.
Mm-hmm.
Since we are in Los Angeles, the home of the Lakers and the Clippers,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
I think it's only right if we get a little take on what do you think about those two teams right there?
Oh my goodness. Oh, why don't we call Lonzo Ball and say, man, what you think, man? Matter of fact, get your daddy here and say something.
Listen, he might be on his way out of New Orleans too,
right? Yeah. LeVar, he just waiting on that little one. Oh, Bello.
Man. Oh, that boy nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Melo nice.
That boy nice. Yeah, I mean, good for them, man. Shout out to the Ball family, man.
Mhm.
You know, LiAngelo, I think he's still trying to figure it out, but Lonzo and
That's
LaMelo. Man, it was long overdue as far as LA getting back to the elite.
Mhm.
It's just so crazy on how how it goes, and last year people weren't sure about LeBron being here, and
Yeah.
it's just like everyone's got to change their heart now.
Relax.
Yeah.
It's coming.
We're figuring
Relax.
it out,
Yeah,
man.
and the
Rome
King,
wasn't built in a day.
bruh, and the King came in here and he made some adjustments, and they're doing their thing. Well, they got the best record in the West, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you got Kawhi, you got Paul,
PG.
yeah, who they're all LA kids, man. They're all Cali kids. So
PG went to Fresno State, which is our hometown.
oh, word,
Yeah,
bruh. Yeah, my son plays for the Paul George elite team too. So it's like, God, I think me personally,
there we go.
that's the championship.
Yeah.
That's the finals right there, man.
Well, I don't know. I can't discredit.
No.
the
Who?
Milwaukee Bucks,
no,
man.
The Bucks is official too,
They
man.
look amazing right now.
Golly, I mean, just the West has just for the last like 10 years it's just been so sexy, dog. The West is sexy,
and now you got both LA teams.
Well, that's what they want, man. I mean, the Knicks got to do something. The Knicks, like you gotta have
the Meccas.
Yeah, you gotta have the Meccas get it together,
Boston
man.
doing anything.
You need the Knicks in there though, bruh. You need the Knicks in there. But right now, LA is so just the place to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Man, like my son plays for Heritage Christian, and LeBron and all them, they go to Sierra Canyon, and so the middle school Sierra Canyon came to my son's school. They played him at home, and you had like Scotty's son played. He played in the 8th grade team. His son is nice. Scotty was there.
Pippen. He's saying Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, Scottie Pippen. Gilbert Arenas' son plays with my son too.
Oh, that's what's
they
up.
play together. And the Kenyon Martin.
Yeah,
Kmart's son, dog.
It Todd Gurley's been over. Like like LA is just like
It's it.
it's it, bro. And so when you have great ball players, Hall of Fame ball players, and then their kids are good, and then the whole nostalgia of just LA, like
It's lit.
It's fam.
It's lit.
It's bruh. It's too lit. And
Mhm.
then you that's what everybody want to see. They want to see they want to see they want to see both LA teams get after it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
They want to see James and Russ get after it.
Mhm.
Who I'm trying to think who else is in the West. They want to see Melo and
Trailblazers
yeah,
slide
They want them
back
to
up
get
there.
there,
There's
get
like
back.
it's
Yeah.
like if you think about it, the West is it's just so top heavy that I mean I don't take nothing away from Giannis and them, but it's Milwaukee and it's sexy is what's going on out in the West.
No,
I
it's
mean,
not,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
know.
But basketball wise,
Aesthetically.
they official.
Yeah.
They official. I mean, most likely they're gonna be the force to be reckoned with in a sense. But I think all the attention is on the LA teams, and I just feel in seven games.
7 of them.
All home games.
Man, can you imagine that doing it? You don't have to leave.
Nobody got to travel.
Nobody got to travel for
They
7 games, man.
You just got to change
Dude.
parking lot. No, I think personally, woo, I just don't know if the Lakers can beat them in 7 games, dude.
Okay.
In my opinion,
There it is. I ain't mad at
They
it.
deep.
I don't. The Clippers are deep,
They haven't
and
been looking deep, but
with Doc,
Mm-hmm.
I think it would go 7 games. It would go 7 games. Like LeBron, because in my opinion, I think they gotta win this year. The Lakers have to win this year, and I think the one thing that's special about them is how quickly they gelled.
Yeah.
And their chemistry and camaraderie. And you get tired as far as them losing to the Bucks. I mean, they've been on the road, and cats get tired, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, we about to go into Christmas break.
Yeah.
We'll give them a fight. And then they came back.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
They came back.
There was a couple turning points where it could have went either way, but they just didn't hit the shot. Or
I feel LeBron's smart enough to know what he has to do, and he's trying to. He's reserving to when them playoffs come, man, because
it's gonna be tough every round.
I think they're strong enough now where they smacking cats up to when them playoffs come. I mean, it's man, what? And I think Paul and Kawhi, is Kawhi hurt right now?
Yeah.
Load management
Injury, knee kind of hurt. He missed a game. He played a game. I'm concerned about them, honestly. They're not gelling as fast, and you don't get a lot of practices.
Paul was gone for a minute,
and you don't get a lot of practice. And then they had some more injuries.
That's what the Lakers
Shannon
got over.
just came back,
camaraderie.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Because
they're losing games they should be winning right now.
Well, the thing about it, like, and unfortunately, I've seen more Laker games than I've seen Clipper games, just schedule wise. I mean, I was in Cleveland for a minute, and filming that movie, and I came back, and then, like I said, like when at nighttime, I be trying to like have my son watch the games, or like, but I'm so tired.
Yeah,
but I've seen more Laker games, and they look like they've been playing for a long time together, and I haven't seen the Clippers. I've just been hearing rumors, like if I turn on ESPN and I'm hearing like what's going on with Kawhi or Paul doing his thing, because they're gonna do their thing, and maybe they are resting because they know the playoffs are coming.
Right.
And as far as like the load management, who are we to say whether they're hurt or not? We don't know. And like the fans are like, no, I bought this ticket to specifically see like LeBron or Paul and whoever, and they're not playing tonight. You know what I mean? And it's like, well,
It's still human.
All right, and I mean,
Yeah.
it could be a shot in the pan or whatever, but that game against the Bucks, where they were lost by damn near 40.
Who? The Clippers
with Paul and Kawhi both playing.
I've
never
one game though.
It's one game, but I've never seen a champion go down like that. You don't see the Warriors lose by 40 in a season and then go on and win a championship. It's just not. It's not realistic. So that's just my take on it.
Was it in Milwaukee? Or was it in LA?
It was in Milwaukee. They ran over them that game. They just took off on them.
I can't even comment on it. I didn't see it, and quite frankly, I didn't even really hear it. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it
just went. It
was
came
like,
and went. It was
like 79 to 80, 118 or so. It was crazy.
It's one game. I don't think it meant all that, but it was bad.
I got both my stars playing, and we go down like that. It's listen. They still. This ain't the finished
they
haven't gelled yet, but I'm worried.
Well, I think Kawhi's tired. Kawhi, like this Christmas break is gonna be. It's much needed. It's for everybody, man, because it's tough, and if you don't have like each team. Each team needs to have two superstars.
Yeah,
to compete.
Yeah.
Minimum.
You have to.
Yeah,
and a solid bench. I mean, you need shooters. Like, I just feel based off of like the way the NBA is now. You need some superstars and also too, not just with the game itself, but you have the marketing and you have the business side of it that they're trying to uphold too.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of pressure, man. And I mean with Kawhi him going to the Clippers, leaving Toronto, going to the Clippers, there's a lot of pressure on him being back home.
Yeah,
there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure on him being a champion. What's that mean? What's that mean to him? Well, I want to know.
Right.
So there's a lot that goes into it, man, when you are an entertainer. And Kawhi's just, I'm just going to play basketball. I'm just trying to,
ain't
whatever.
trying to talk or nothing.
But there's a whole bunch of other things that go into it that you have to process.
Right.
That sometimes can get like overwhelming. Mm-hmm. And can play into your psyche to where you not your best, and next thing you know, oh man, I feel like I tweaked my knee or something because I'm not really there.
Right.
So I mean, it's gonna be interesting. Unfortunately, the West is just super. It's crazy. So, but those are the games we looking forward to seeing.
Definitely.
Hopefully, Golden State can be back up in there, man, because. That's a mess. That's a mess.
I'll be back next year.
Yo, man, you go you see one of their games, and it's like you hear crickets, dog. Ain't nobody in there, bro. They like, man, what happened?
All them techies left.
Naming they starting five is hard right now.
Techies left.
The stadium's got all different colored T-shirts now in there. Ain't nobody. Those State Warrior fans.
Y'all be back though. We got faith in y'all.
Yeah, they'll be back.
But man, once again, Pooch,
my man,
appreciate you, brother. I've been hunting you down for a while. You always show love, respond, man.
Yeah, well, this is just the beginning. You know what I mean? Hopefully, I get to come back in here with y'all and give you guys a more updated, interview as to where I'm at and what's going on with whatever. Because I think everyone's gonna be lining up to know what's up with the game, and how it's going and what have you. But just to kind of give you guys like a little wink and like, head nod and a salute to the fans. Like that's big for me, man. And I plan on killing it. Mm-hmm. Killing it more than I did last time. Just I'm a better actor now.
Right.
I'm centered and I'm focused and I want it, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel there's nothing I can't do acting wise, and I'm ready. And I think that this opportunity that the game is presenting, we get in there and we make it happen. I feel now being accepted and being recognized as a real show, and as a show that has moved the needle.
Right.
Hopefully we can get the recognition and respect that we sought out for in the beginning. So
I believe so.
Thank
I mean,
you.
if you guys need somebody to come and interview you for the show,
Extras, whatever.
Reporter, I'll come report for you. Don't
Facts.
worry about it. For
Facts.
the Baltimore, whoever, we'll see where he ends up.
San Diego, whatever.
That's what's up, man.
But
thank
yeah,
you
if
guys.
you want to shout out your handle and everything again.
This is your boy Pooch on Minute Till 6. Minute Till 6. Get at me on my Instagram is I am Pooch Hall, and my Twitter is I am_Pooch Hall. Please forgive me, I'm really sick. But thank you so much for having me, y'all.
All right, thank y'all. And it's a Minute Till 6. I'm Mark Haynes, MH the Champ,
Chris Perry, the man with the plan.
and we out.